All right, it is time for our last video on inscribed angles, and this one is going to talk about inscribed quadrilaterals. So if you remember, a quadrilateral has four sides. So if you have a quadrilateral inside of a circle, something special happens. Their opposite angles are going to be supplementary. And so if we remember what supplementary means, that means equals 180 degrees. Okay? So what that means is, let's look at A and C are examples of opposite angles. So I'm going to have the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle C. If I add those two together, I'm going to get 180 degrees. You also have another set of opposite angles. You have B and D. So let's write another equation. So I'd have the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle D is going to equal 180 degrees. So opposite angles of an inscribed quadrilateral are supplementary or 180. So let's look at some examples. All right, in number one, it gives me the measure of M, and it gives me the measure of K, just kidding, L. It wants me to find the measure of J. So here is J. The angle opposite would be L. It's the one that is not closest to it. And so I know that L and J have to equal 180. So let me do 180, take away 92, and that will give me the measurement of J, which is 88 degrees. Then I can come over here, and if I'm trying to find the measure of K, the angle opposite of K is M, and I know these two are supplementary. So 180, take away 45, to give you the measure of 135 degrees. Ta-da! Now I can get a little bit trickier. So let's look at this. It gives me some arcs measurements, and then it gives me an angle Q measurement. So I know Q and S are opposite, so I'm going to go ahead and find angle S. So I know Q and S have to equal 180. 180 take away 93 will give me the measurement of 87. So I know that this angle is going to be 87 degrees. Now, unfortunately, I don't know P and I don't know R, and I need to know one of them to figure out the other one. So let me look at the other information they give me in this picture. Let's see, I know that this arc is 90 and this arc is 126. So I see that this big arc, the inscribed angle to it would be right here. So I know that the inscribed angle, let me switch up colors, purple. R is the inscribed angle to all of this blue. So I can use my knowledge of an inscribed angle to figure out what R was. Now the reason I didn't look at P was because I didn't know anything about this arc measure over here. So let's see, what is 126 plus 90? Nope, 216. So this whole entire blue thing is 216. So if I'm trying to find my inscribed angle, I'm going to half it. So 216 cut in half is going to be 108. So I know that the measure of R is going to be not 180, 108. Okay, so you had to use your knowledge of your arc measurements and inscribed angles to figure that out. And now I can ultimately figure out P, because P and R are opposite and they have to be 180. So 180 take away angle R, which was 108, is going to give me 72 degrees. Okay, go ahead and add that back. So first off, if you know one angle measurement, you can figure out the opposite angle because they are supplementary. Then maybe look at your arcs to figure out what inscribed angle will open up to your intercepted arc to help you out. All right, if you want to press pause and try 3 and 4 on your own, you can, but I will do them if not. So press pause if you want to challenge. If not, follow along. So on number 3, I know that they gave me angle Y, and so based off my knowledge of supplementary, I'm going to go ahead and find angle W. So 180 take away 51 is going to give me 129. So I know that this angle is 129. All right, again, I cannot figure out V and X because I don't know the measurement of either of them. So I have to ask myself, can I find the measure of X or can I find the measure of V? V is going to open up to this bottom, which I know nothing about, but X is going to open up to all of this, which I do know. So I'm going to add 101 and 67 to get 168. And so I know this arc measurement is 168. So if I half it, that will give me my inscribed angle. So 168 divided by 2 gets you 84. So I know the measurement of X is going to be 84 degrees. Then I can use my knowledge of my opposite angles are going to be supplementary. So 180 take away 84 to give me 96 degrees. Cool, cool. On number 4. Let's see. Oh no, I know no angles on the inside. Scary. So, let me look at my angles. Angle C opens up to these two, but I don't know AD. You could figure it out, actually, since we know all of these arcs. You could do that if you wanted to. That's not how my brain was thinking. I saw this first inscribed angle opening up to these two arcs. So I'm actually going to figure out angle D first. You could have totally figured out the length of arc AD first. So 39 and 61. If you add those two together, you get 100 degrees. So if I'm trying to find my inscribed angle, I'm going to half 100 to get 50. So I know that angle D is going to be 50 degrees. If I know angle D, I can figure out its opposite angle, which is going to be angle B. And so I know they are supplementary. So angle B is going to be 180 take away 50, which gives you 130. Now, let me go ahead and figure out the measurement of AD now to help me out. Because I can see that, for example, angle C opens up to the 39 and then this green angle. So if I find the measure of AD, I can add those two together. So I know a circle is 360. And let me take away all the angle measurements I know. So 39, 61, and 147. That'll tell me the remaining measure of AD. So let's type that in. All right, I got 113. So now I know the measurement of AD is 113. So if I want to look at C, C opens up to 113 and 39. So if I add 39, I know the measurement of this entire thing is 152. And then I can half 152 to find your inscribed angle. So if I half 152, I get 76. And then I know that C and A are supplementary because they are opposites. So if C is 76, 180 take away 76 will give you the measure of A, which is 104. Okay, I'm sure I did that a little bit more complicated than I wanted to. I actually see an easier way real quick that I'm going to talk about. You could have found angle A first, because angle A opens up to all of this, which I know. And so if you wanted to, you could add 147 to 61 to get 208, and then to find your inscribed angle, you would half it to get 104. So I did that exact same thing with less work. Up to you. You can pick. All right, so let's take a look. These are all numerical answers when you have a quadrilateral inscribed into a circle. Let's take a look at some variable equations where we have to solve for x. For time's sake, I'm going to skip 6 and 8 and 9, but you can do them on your own if you would like after this lesson. I'm going to talk about 5 and 7 because I think those will cover the video. So looking at number 5, they gave me the measurement of E and G. And so I know that opposite angles are supplementary. So I'm going to go back to my knowledge, kind of like a linear pair. So I'm going to say this equation plus this equation has to equal 180. So very similar to a triangle, very similar to a linear pair. When you do this, you're going to combine your like terms. And so 68 take away 5 is going to be 63. So drop down 9x plus 63 equals 180. I'm going to subtract 63 from both sides. So drop down 9x. 180 take away 63 is 117. Divide by 9. And so you end up getting x is equal to 13. Okay? If you wanted to, you could substitute in 13 into your equation to figure out how much angle G would be. You can also take away 180 from 68 to figure out what G would be. So that's actually another way to solve this problem. So I could have said, I know E is 68, and I know G is supplementary, so 180 take away 68 is going to be 112. Whoops. So I actually could have done a quicker equation of saying 9x minus 15 has to equal 112 because they're talking about the same thing. Up to you. Let's look at one more problem, and I have 2 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast. They gave me this inscribed angle at L, which opens up to this arc. And so I need to figure out this arc if I know this angle measurement. So I noticed they gave me 135 and 91 to help me out. So circles are 360. Let's take away 135 and let's take away 91 to figure out what is remaining for that arc to be. If I do that, 360, take away 135, take away 91, I get 134. So I could go back to my inscribed angle knowledge and half this 134 to get 67 degrees. So I know this angle L has to equal 67 degrees. So my equation could be 15x minus 23 is equal to 67. Now that's one way of solving the problem. We could do it a lot of different ways. If I solve this out, you're going to add 23 to both sides. You would get 15x is equal to 90. Divide by 15 to get x is equal to 6. Okay? I'm going to briefly talk about another way you could do this problem in the short time that I have remaining. You could, if I know angle L, I could try to figure out angle N and use my knowledge that they are supplementary. I do know that angle N opens up to these two angles, so I could figure out the measure of angle N. So 91 and 135 is a total of 226 for this big arc. To find your inscribed angle, let's half it to get 113. I am almost out of time, so you could say 15x minus 23 plus 113 equals 180 because they are supplementary. Again, totally up to you. But this is Inscribed Angles in a Quadrilateral. Thanks for watching. Do the rest on your own. Bye!